A cruel summer came to the forest. The rivers became thin lines of muddy water, grass turned yellow, and leaves hung dry from tired branches. Every animal searched from morning to night, but food had become rare everywhere. Small animals grew weak each day. Squirrels found empty shells, deer found no fresh grass, and birds returned with nothing. Hunger spread through the forest like a shadow that touched every nest and den. High on a dusty branch lived a tiny sparrow named Mili. She had flown far since sunrise, searching fields, roots, and bushes. After many hours, she finally found only one small seed. Mili held the seed carefully in her beak as if it were treasure. Her wings were tired, and her stomach felt empty. She knew that one seed was little, but it was all she had. She returned to her branch and placed the seed beside her feet. Warm wind moved the dry leaves around her. Mili looked at the seed and thought of finally eating after a long painful day. Just as she lowered her head, she heard a faint sound below. It was a weak growl from an empty stomach. Mili looked down through the branches to see where it came from. Under the tree sat a young rabbit named Nemo. His ears drooped sadly, and dust covered his paws. He had searched the forest since morning but found no roots, berries, or grass to eat. Nemo leaned against the tree trunk, too tired to move. His stomach growled again, louder this time. He closed his eyes, trying to ignore the hunger that made his whole body weak. Mili looked at the seed beside her, then at the hungry rabbit below. Her own stomach hurt badly. She had only one chance to eat today, and giving it away meant staying hungry herself. For a moment, Mili stayed still. The wind blew softly, and the forest felt silent. Then kindness became stronger than hunger inside her small heart. She picked up the seed in her beak. Mili flew down slowly from the branch and landed near Nemo. She placed the tiny seed gently on the ground in front of him and stepped back with a warm smile. Nemo opened his eyes and stared in surprise. He looked at the seed, then at the sparrow. "This is your food," he said softly. "You are hungry too. Why would you give it to me?" Mili lifted her head and answered kindly, "Because right now, you need it more than I do." Her voice was gentle, though her own stomach was still empty and aching. Nemo's eyes filled with gratitude. He carefully ate the seed, thankful for every bite. Strength slowly returned to him, but more than food, Mili's kindness warmed his heart. Not far away, a wise old elephant named Burrow had watched everything from behind the trees. He saw the tiny sparrow choose generosity when she herself had almost nothing. Burrow walked forward with heavy steps that shook the ground. Mili and Nemo looked up in surprise. The elephant smiled calmly and moved toward a giant old fruit tree nearby. The tree looked empty from outside, but Burrow knew its secret. He wrapped his trunk around the trunk and shook it with all his strength. Branches rattled loudly across the forest. Suddenly, many ripe fruits hidden among thick leaves dropped to the ground. Apples, figs, and sweet forest fruits rolled everywhere. The ground became covered with fresh food. Animals rushed from nearby bushes and trees in amazement. There was enough for everyone. Nemo ate happily, Mili pecked sweet fruit, and many hungry creatures thanked the wise elephant. Burrow looked at Mili and said, "A kind heart is never poor for long." Mili smiled under the golden sunset, knowing one small act of sharing had changed the whole day. Moral: when you share even a little, life often gives back much more.